Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Bible Buzz, where we learn stories from the Bible. That's right. And after we hear a story, then we quiz you to see just how much you remembered. And my name is Christian Martin, and I'm not alone here today. I have my sidekick, Neto. Let's welcome Neto, everyone. Let's give Neto a hand. Yeah, let's give Neto a hand. Neto deserves a good hand. So you're from Brazil, right?
You're born and raised.
What language do they speak in Brazil?
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
I thought one of
you
them
guys know how to
something.
say hi in Portuguese? Oi. Can you say oi? Oi. So let's
Oi,
say
everyone.
hi. Oi, Neto.
Oi.
Oi, Neto.
Oi,
All right,
oi.
we got to make him feel at home, you know? And for those watching at home, we're so glad you've tuned in because we want you to be a part of this experience. We're going to have a good time today with two teams. We got the red team and the blue team. Team number one, let's welcome the Cardinals. The Cardinals are here today. And we also welcome the Eagles. Team number two, the Eagles. All right. Two awesome teams, and they're with us here today, ready to hear yet another story and answer questions at the end. So, Neto, I say we go right into the story. What do you think?
I say yes. Let's go to
I
the story.
think so. All right. Today's story takes us back to the Old Testament. Here we find the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel. Now, Israel has a long history of good kings and bad kings. No, not just bad kings. Really, really, really bad kings. So bad that it's an embarrassment. These are bad guys. And so Israel has good kings and bad kings and whatnot. And one king in particular, his name was Ahab. Have you heard of Ahab? What's your guess, guys? Was he a good king or a bad king? Scored. He was a bad king, and he was a bad king because he didn't get along with the prophets of God. I mean, God would send prophets to be able to communicate messages that were important for people to do the will of God, but these kings didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to know anything about that because why? Because they wanted to do their own thing. Neto, is it ever good for us to want to do our own thing? It's not always good, is it?
We should do the things that God asks us to do.
Precisely. So Ahab wanted to do his own thing. He didn't want to be told what to do. Does that sound like us sometimes? Sometimes,
You
right?
should ask my mom.
It's just human nature. We don't want to be told what to do. We want to do what we want to do. Well, this was King Ahab. And you know what? During this time, Israel had a big problem with these bad kings. You know why they were bad? Because they couldn't make up their minds. They served God, and they served the gods of Baal. They had two masters, if you want to put it that way. They had two gods, and they didn't make up their mind. No wonder they had such a hard time.
They're all confused.
They were all confused. They served two gods. And one of those prophets that King Ahab just did not get along with was the prophet Elijah. Oh, Elijah. He was a true prophet of God. And he told it straight. And King Ahab didn't like this. And one day, King Ahab and Elijah are face to face. And King Ahab tells Elijah, you are a troubler of Israel. Whoa, those are strong words.
That's what my mom calls me too.
Strong words. You must have done something.
No.
Oh, I don't know. But man, King Ahab, he was not happy. And he blamed Elijah for a famine that had just taken place. And so Elijah just stood up before the king and said, listen, king, listen. Enough is enough. We're having all these problems because you can't make up your mind. You think you serve God, but you also worship Baal. Come on, king. You can't have it both ways. You have to choose who you will serve. And so this is what we're going to do, king. We're going to have a showdown. I want to meet at Mount Carmel with 400 and, let's make it 50. 450 of your prophets of Baal, and I'm going to meet them up at the mountaintop, and we're going to have a showdown. I'll see you there. And so then Elijah left, and soon enough, there was a huge gathering of people on Mount Carmel.
What did they do? They sang?
Oh, man, the word got out. This was going to be a
really?
showdown, Neto, a showdown.
Like a dancing one?
Oh, yeah, there was some dancing. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So all these prophets show up, and hundreds, no, maybe even thousands of people show up to the mountaintop. And here's Elijah all by himself, standing tall. He was brave. He was not afraid, but he was alone. And then on this side, you had, imagine, 450 prophets of Baal. And they look pretty scary, I would think.
Really?
Oh, yeah, prophets of Baal, Neto? They were scary kind of guys. Yeah, face paint and all kinds of stuff. They looked really scary. And so this was the test. They made an agreement. They said, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build 2 altars, and we're going to provide a sacrifice on top of each altar, and then we're going to do this. Prophets of Baal, you're going to have to call upon your gods, and I'm going to have to call upon my God. And whoever answers by fire, he is the true God. And the prophets of Baal said, deal. And so Elijah said, you start. And so all the prophets of Baal got together around that altar. And Neto, you got a good imagination. What did the prophets of Baal start to do?
Dancing?
They did. Can you demonstrate, Neto?
They
Can
yelled a little bit?
Yeah, demonstrate.
Something like that?
And Elijah was like, what was that?
That was a dance.
You got to be a little crazier than that, because obviously you didn't get their attention. Come on, do a little crazier dance. And Elijah was like, maybe a little louder, because they didn't hear you. So a little louder, please.
Fire!
And Elijah was like, you know what? Maybe they're away. Maybe they're away on vacation. Elijah was like being so hilarious. He was telling the prophets of Baal, your gods aren't listening to you. Well, duh, because the gods of Baal were not true gods. They were not listening because the gods of Baal were gods of stone and of rock. They were not like the true God that hears prayer. Not only were they doing crazy dances and weird sounds, these guys were cutting themselves. It was pretty crazy scene. They were cutting themselves and making all this mess and noise, and nothing, guys, nothing happened. Nothing. And after a while, Elijah said, all right, guys, step aside. It's my turn. And Elijah stepped up to the altar, and he looked up towards heaven. But before he did that, he thought to himself, these guys are going to think I'm going to pull a fast one here. So he said, just to be sure that the people don't think I'm cheating, I'm going to ask people to come throw buckets of water on the altar. Just soak it with water so that nobody will say later, it was a trick. Someone put fire under the altar when we weren't watching. Elijah's going to say, no. Cover this place with water, and they will know that there's no joke here. This is serious stuff. Serious. And so
happened?
Elijah stood up before God and before all the people, and he said a simple prayer, boys and girls. He said, Lord God, the God of Israel, hear me today. Show these people that you are the true God. That's basically what he said. Straight prayer, very direct. And boys and girls, what happened next, we cannot even imagine what that looked like. It must have been absolutely breathtaking to see this fire coming down from heaven, a straight shot all the way down from heaven, straight into the altar and consuming this altar. And the people were just like, they couldn't believe what they saw. Their mouths just dropped open when they saw fire coming down from heaven and consuming that altar. And all they could say, guys, was, Whoa, the Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. Maybe you can say that with me. If you're watching from home, join us. All righty? Let's say on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The Lord, He is God. Again, the Lord, He is God. That's what the people began to say. And you know what, guys? That day, God, the true God, was glorified. And there was no compromise among the people because they finally made a choice. The Lord, He is God. That's our story for today, and we're going to be back in just a few moments where we're going to be quizzed to see just how much we remember. We'll be right back.
Hello? Yes, I think my computer's broken.
Julie, what are you doing?
Hey, I'm trying to get on the Kids Network webpage, but it's not working.
Here, let me show you. Type in 3abnkids.tv. Once you're there, find the button that says menu. Then click on contact.
Oh, hey, look, I found the email address.
Now you can contact 3ABN Kids whenever you'd like.
Hello? Yes, it's working.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to Bible Buzz. We heard a story about Elijah and the prophets of Baal in Mount Carmel. Now we're going to have the quiz. And Neto, why don't you tell us how we're going to play?
This is how we're going to play. It's pretty easy. First thing is there will be a question on the screen, and then there'll be 2 answers, okay? 1 question, 2 answers. 1 answer will be right, the other answer will be wrong. And this, how they look like. One is yellow, the other one is blue. You guys have a ball that's yellow and another one that's blue. And we are going to vote like this. You pick which color you like, and you think it's the right answer, and you use that to vote, okay? And I have one more question for you guys. Are you ready? Yeah! There you go.
Let's see who can get the loudest. Cardinals, are you ready? Yeah! Whoa! Eagles, are you ready? Yeah! Whoa!
Wow.
You both sound very, very loud and very good. So let's get started, Neto. And those at home, are you watching too? I hope you are, because we're ready to begin.
First
so let's
question.
go with question number 1. What was the name of the king of the Israel at the time of Elijah? All right, think carefully. Was it A, Darius, or was it B, Ahab? You know the answer? Tell it in 3, 2, 1. Blue ball, B, Ahab. Correct. Good job. Let's go to question number 2. You guys are on a roll. Let's see if you can do it again. What was the problem within Israel's religion? What was the main problem? Was it A, they served 2 gods, or B, they wanted a king? You got to think about this one. Make sure you answer correctly. Think twice before you do. In 3, 2, 1. Yellow is the answer. A. They served 2 gods. They couldn't make up their minds. All right, well, let's go to the third question. You guys are doing very good. The third question is, how many false prophets showed up to the challenge? Was it A, 450, or B, 250? Do you think you know the answer? All right, we're going to say the answer. Count down with me, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answer, please. A is right. A, yellow, 450. Excellent job. Boys and girls, today we discovered something very powerful, very important, that in the life of the follower of Christ, there is no place for compromise. You have to make up your mind. Are you going to go left or are you going to go right? Jesus tells us that He is the way, the truth, and the life. And so we can choose to follow Jesus. Would you join me? How many of you, together with those at home, want to say, you know what? I'm going to make up my mind. I'm going to choose to follow Jesus. If that is your choice, let me see your hand. Awesome. Excellent. How about you, Neto? All right. Well, we've had a great time today looking at the Word of God. Remember, boys and girls, be busy in the Bible. And we'll see you next time in Bible Buzz.